Hi, I'm Christine. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you've never been here before. And welcome to 2023. I'm here today with my January TBR. I'm so excited to be making this first TBR for the new year for 2023, starting off fresh, finding new favorite reads, new favorite books. Like, I am ready for 2023. So January is already kicking off with a ton of fun things happening. There are quite a few read-alongs going on. I am also co-hosting a read-along as well. There are a ton of new books dropping in January that I can't wait to get to. So I have some new releases on this list as well. I also have an author interview coming up on January 6th, which I will put the info and all of that right here. It will be on Jess from Peace Love Books channel that we're going to be interviewing BK Borison together. And I'm so excited because I've been obsessed with her Love Light Farms series. So first up, I'm going to jump into the book club reads that I know that are happening in January. So first up, from Historical Hellions, which is the book club put on from Jess from Peace Love Books and Samantha from Books with Samantha. They're going to be reading Reckless by Amanda Quick. Here is the cover. And then the step back. Of course, I'm obsessed with all of these Pinot step backs that Amanda Quick has. Such iconic step backs. Super excited to get to this one. I don't know anything about it. I'm guessing from the step back there is something with a ship and pirates involved. Don't really need to know too much before going in. I just know that I enjoy Amanda Quick's books. I'm excited to get to this one. I think this is my 4th or 5th Amanda Quick read. I've heard this one is a fun time, so I'm excited to get into it. Then this month, I also plan to read The Obsession by NORA Roberts. This is from Jess's Patreon, one of her book club picks, and so I plan to check that one out, which I actually read NORA Roberts for the first time a couple months ago, which was one of her historicals, but I'm excited to check out more from her. I think I'm going to check if my library has the audio for this one and give that a listen. I've never tried one of her romantic suspenses before, but I will give it a go. Then after that, I'm actually a co-host for the Folk of the Air read-along that Rachel from Rachel Reads and Sings put on. So we are going to be reading The Cruel Prince all the way to The Stolen Heir, which is the new book from Holly Black. Which, if you missed it, I do have an announcement video on my channel as well. It's like a 2 or 3 minute clip of just all the live shows and the dates and the info and what books we're going to be reading. So I'll be reading The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I'll be reading The Lost Sisters, which is a novella. And then The Wicked King, The Queen of Nothing, How the King of Elfhame Learned to Hate Stories. And then, of course, finishing off with the newest release from Holly Black, which I believe is a spinoff from this original YA fantasy series, which is going to be The Stolen Heir. I know it is a beloved YA fantasy series, which I have actually never read, so I'm excited to check it out for the first time. So hopefully you join us on those live shows, whether you are rereading it to get ready for the new release or are reading for the first time like me, or if you've read the series in the past and just want to join the live shows and talk and gush about the books, like, definitely join us. I mentioned all the info for the live shows. You can see them on my Instagram. I have like a highlight saved of all of the info, or as well as I have the read-along announcement video on my channel here. Next up, another read-along that I'm going to participate in this month is for the Vampire Academy for the first 3 books in that series, which I've actually never read this series before, so I'm excited to try it for the first time. I grabbed all the audios from my library. But there's going to be a live show for this one at the end of January on Sam Reads a Little's channel, which the host for this one is, of course, Sam from Sam Reads a Little, Crystal from Crystal's Bookish Life, Carrie from Booked for Romance, Caitlin from The Love Librarian, Zay, who is Witty Reads on Instagram, and then Jess from The Honest Fiction Club. So the first 3 books for that is Vampire Academy, Frostbite, and then Shadow Kiss. Then there are quite a few new releases that are dropping in January that I'm excited to get to. So first up is Lost in the Moment and Found by Seanan McGuire. This is coming out on January 10th, and this is the 8th book, I believe, in the Wayward Children series, which I am obsessed with this fantasy portal series. On January 17th is the start of Jennifer Hartman's new duet, and this one is An Optimist's Guide to Heartbreak. On January 19th, the new duet for Ashley Jade comes out, which this is a follow-up from her The Words book. And so the first one is The Choice. On January 24th is One Duke Down by Anna Bennett. I have an arc of this one, so I'm going to be starting this one pretty early on into the month. This one is a follow-up to her Girls Before Earls, which I really enjoyed, so I'm excited to check this one out. I'm obsessed with this orange cover, and then the couple smiling, like, just, brings all the joy. So then on January 26th, a week after the first book in the duet comes out, Ashley Jade is having the second book in the duet come out, and that is The Consequence. These 2 books are going to be following the same couple, which is a couple that we met in The Words, and they're getting their own story. I know this last book in particular, I think she said, is over 1,000 pages, so it's definitely going to be some chunky reads. And then on January 31st is the last book in the duet from Jennifer Hartman. So this one is called A Pessimist's Guide to Love. I know she said that these 2 books in particular aren't as dark as her usual reads, so I'm excited to check them out. And then on January 31st is Whispers of You by Catherine Cowles. This is going to be the first book in her new Lost and Found series, so I'm excited to get to this one. I'm obsessed with this cover. I know, of course, to expect romantic suspense, some kidnapping, a small town from Catherine Cowles. So then in January as well, I want to continue on in Scarlett Scott's League of Dukes series. The first book in the series, which was Nobody's Duke, was one of my favorite reads of last year. So I'm excited to continue on. So book 2 is Heartless Duke. Just obsessed with the cover. I've heard this whole series is really great, and so I'm excited to continue on with book 2, and then I will probably continue on with the rest of the books in the series as well. Then I also want to get to Kiss Her Once for Me by Alison Cochrane. This is, I believe, a sapphic holiday-ish romance, or set around the holidays. I know that the two heroines had met the previous Christmas, had a little moment, and then the next Christmas, which is present day, the one ends up meeting like this guy that she has to have a marriage of convenience or like fake engagement with, and then she goes to his house with him for the holidays and meets his sister, who is actually the woman from her past that she had that little like one night stand with the previous Christmas. So I'm excited to get to this one. It sounds very complicated, but like I've heard such good things about it. Then I'm also going to be doing the 12 reads from 12 friends little challenge from Instagram this year as well. So one of those that was recommended to me from a friend on Instagram is After Hours on Milagros Street. So I don't know anything about this one. I've seen the cover a few times, but I'm excited to get to this one. I also have an arc of Curled Up with an Earl by Amy Rose Bennett. This is a follow-up to her Up All Night with a Good Duke, which I adored and loved it last year. So I'm excited to get to this book. It actually comes out on February 7th. So I'm hoping to get that arc read this month. And then another arc that I want to get to, this one actually comes out on February 21st, but this is The Counterfeit Scoundrel by Lorraine Heath. This is the first book in her new Chessman series. Lorraine Heath was super sweet and sent me this signed arc copy to get to. So I'm very excited to start this series off. I know the characters in this. We've actually met the chessmen in the previous series that she had, which was the Once Upon a Dukedom series. So I can't wait to start this series. So those are all the books I plan to get to in January. I think I have about 25 on my list to get to. I'm excited to kick off the new year, kick off this new month of reading. Let me know in the comments if you're planning on reading any of the books that I am going to read this month, or if you have read any of these books, I'd love to know as well. Or maybe what some books that you're looking forward to starting off January reading. So if you haven't done so yet, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, and I'll see you in my next one.